What good does dreaming do? Is it purely an internal experience, or can dreaming actually create change in the world by connecting to and inspiring others? Is art itself really the creation of our dreams? And in these most uncertain times, what art does the world need right now? Dream Space is the place where we get to ask these unfurling and philosophical questions to some of the world's most radical dreamers and creators. Welcome to Dream Space with me, Gemma Cairney from Factory International. I'm a broadcaster, a creator, an art lover, all of it, and I've always been fascinated by our capacity to dream. On Dream Space, we've invited some of the world's most visionary thinkers to build us a place free from the constraints of time and physicality and tell us how that place helps them to construct their life on Earth. In our last episode, we heard from broadcaster Marianne Hobbs. In this episode, we're joined by a true icon, someone whose work has brought joy to millions of people around the world for over 40 years and who has been a constant voice calling for social change.
Joy is a power, and government don't like joy. The first thing that any dictatorship take away is your freedom to think and to be joyful and to listen to music. Art is at the center of the resilience and the resistance of human beings.
Angélique Kidjo is widely regarded as one of the most significant artists making music today. With 17 albums to her name and a 5-time Grammy Award winner, she's performed in some of the most iconic venues in the world. Angélique Kidjo was born into a musical family in Benin, West Africa, where she was always encouraged to speak her mind. She grew up under a dictatorship, eventually escaping with the help of her family to Paris, where she studied music. Kidjo worked as a backing singer in France before striking out as a solo artist in 1990 with the album Parakou. Some of her best-known songs include Agola, Wumbo Lombo, Salala with Peter Gabriel, and Jin Jin featuring Alicia Keys. Angélique has also collaborated with John Legend, Philip Glass, Bono and Burna Boy to name a few. Alongside her musical career, she's also been a lifelong campaigner, championing women's rights, healthcare and climate change. In 2025, she became the first Black African artist to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2022, her album Mother Nature won her 3 Grammy nominations and won her Best Global Music Album, and was a celebration of Pan-Africanism and intergenerational collaboration. Let's leap into Angélique Kidjo's Dream Space. Welcome.
Thanks, Gemma, for being in my world and me being in yours.
How do we enter your dream space?
I think my dream space should be a mindset. We should be on that dream space day in and day out and carry it. It's not a space we should go to because we have to be in all the time. We have to remind ourselves when we are in our space, that dream space, to always think before we do something, what are the consequences of what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say?
I feel like collaboration is such a vein or a thread throughout so much of your professional life. Is it something that you like to practice, and would it be part of a dream world that we would all have this ability to share and collaborate together?
It's not participating in something, it's just being the continuation of the tradition of oral transmission where we all grow up. Because we all have been told stories by our grandmothers or our parents to put us to sleep or sing lullabies to us to sing. In our early age as kids, that's one of the things that we come back and forth into to find comfort, to find that voice that put us to sleep and make us feel absolutely powerful and completely loved and peaceful. For me, my dream world will be for us to envision ourselves as trees. The values are our roots. The trunk of the tree is us, and the branches is what we do with it, how we nurture that tree to give us shade, to give us food, to give us strength. Even when the tree dies, another one grow up from that dead tree. We are a continuation of a link of humanity, all of us. And each link has something different to bring to the table. So my dream world will be, have a world in which we live and let other people live. And the rule will be happy and don't hurt anyone if you're not hurt. If we understand that living demands dignity and demand that we are not perfect, yet our imperfection is part of our perfection. The life, the world we live in, nothing is absolutely perfect. Not two trees look exactly the same, even if they're the same. The branches don't look the same. They don't have the same height. Your fingers are not the same length. Everything in our body, we start with ourselves. The thing that we have to take away completely from a perfect space is purity. There's no purity, because purity means imposing upon someone else your vision of the world. We can have different vision of the world. And in the space that I'm envisioning for us is for us to have plentiful of discussion. We can disagree passionately and also agree passionately and not judge. For me, everything starts from within out. Because if we feel good, we want somebody to feel good. If we are judgmental, we have to start with ourselves. Are we perfect to be able to judge somebody? When we are hurting somebody, we know it. And when you know it and you do it willingly, you need and you deserve to be pardoned as much as you pardon the person that you hurt. It goes both ways. Pardoning is one thing that I learned in meeting Nelson Mandela. Here we are back to his jail the first time after he was released. You have Bono, you have Annie Lennox, you have Beyonce. We were a lot of big stars around. And you walk into that space and you say to yourself, how can any human being in his right mind put somebody in jail in this kind of inhumane condition, in such a small space for such a big guy? I can't even really explain the feeling I was feeling at that day. But I was saddened, I was angry, I feel like I gotta run out of my body to find meaning to it. And here we are with Nelson Mandela in that space. And then he said to us, welcome to my palace. And just from that joke, we all start laughing. And that's the power of the spirit.
When was there a time in your life that you're happy to share for us to take wisdom from, where you have had to pardon someone or something, or even yourself, or forgive or let go, or completely reroute from where you were originally?
The most important thing that I learned before I left home, I have to say that I was lucky to be born in the family I was born into. 10 children, 7 brothers, and there were 3 girls. I was the last girl, and I have other 3 brothers after me. And in the house I was raised in, my mom and dad doesn't make any difference between this or that. It doesn't matter. When I start singing at the age of 6, and I start continue singing, my father will film my show. And when they will give me 1 week, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And then they will sat me down and they will cut the grass under my feet. This is bad. It was painful at times. But my father always used to say to me, people that love you will tell you the truth in its bare reality, for you to be able to see that in that love, there's nothing against you, but for you to think very deeply about it, how you can make it better for you to be able to stand on stage. And on my journey out of my home, fleeing the dictatorship, my parents has always told me, don't confine yourself to your gender or your color. Those are things you are born with. You didn't choose it, and you shouldn't be blamed for it, and you shouldn't take offense when people are stupid about it. Just think of yourself as a human being equal to every human being. So when I arrive in France, I've heard so many stupid comments made about me. And I would tell people, I'm sorry of your ignorance. That doesn't mean me. I don't care what you say about me. You ain't gonna pay my rent. You ain't paying my food. You ain't gonna define who I am. Letting go is very difficult because when you're hurt, you want to hurt back. It's just our instinct. And the thing is, when you give back, you create a cycle of negativity. When you don't forgive people, you start becoming bitter about everything. You are angry about everything because there's something in you that will only be satisfied if the person is punished. I mean, even after the punishment, you don't feel good. So there's no way for you to get out of it unless you decide just to let it go. You can't hold grudges. The only person you're hurting is yourself, nobody else.
Angélique, here we are in your dream space. It's powerful. I am inhabiting this weathered tree on my part in terms of I feel like I am alongside you in having seen the storms, and just by result of how much longer you've been on this earth, perhaps you've seen all sorts of weather. Is there a way to celebrate the beauty of growth in this forest that we are creating? And we are, an ecology of trees. And as you said, there's no such thing as perfectionism. Are we almost more exciting? Are we grander? Are we, in some ways, kind of better for some of the things that we've been through?
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up with my maternal grandmother that used to wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning and say, let's go get some plants. And I'm like, Grandma, I want to sleep. I don't want to go out there. She said, shh, follow me. I'll teach you. And there is a plant, I don't know the name of it, but the smell of it is still in my memory. And she said to me, that plant is not good for human being in no way. You can't consume it, you can't touch it, but it's good for the ground that is nurturing the tree that gives us food. Nature loves us. We are part of nature. Our body is made of more than 80% of water. If the nature don't have different flower, how we smell anything? I grew up surrounded by baobabs, coconut trees, palm trees, all those kind of different trees. And sometimes you go to a baobab, the tree becomes a home for you. You can sit under the baobab and sit inside the trunk of the baobab. The baobab for me represents the tree of wisdom. It has seen so many centuries, have seen it all. Yet that tree is still there to welcome us no matter what. Nature don't judge. Nature just give. And if we give nature a chance, we'll be able to live in the perfect space. Nature nurture us. When the ground is fertile, you never can go hungry. A tree that is green is a tree that is healthy. But sometimes, as us, the tree has to lose its leaves to rejuvenate. We need a moment where we have to go back to ourselves and say, okay, I'm going to take time off for myself. Our mental health depends on our ability to find space for our brain, our body, and everything that we need to protect this body of ours. Without this healthy body that you can nurture through nature.
Sometimes I think that we perhaps have a responsibility as humans to create an ecosystem of our own, whether that's a framework as to how to stay rejuvenated, living by seasons, learning what we need to consume and what we don't. And we know some of these kind of rules applicable to the very complicated framework of nature, plants, trees, animals, but we don't seem to know how to apply it to ourselves. We're not very good at having any kind of trusted framework, and that includes how we treat one another.
We need to understand that nature works cyclically. Is a cycle in everything. Then you cannot just sit and say, I want this now. And we are being forced by, in this century, to have everything immediately. When you have things immediately, it doesn't stand. You cannot build a house in one day. It's impossible. A child is not born the day is conceived. And all those things, we know it. Yet, we need to learn to reappropriate our brain and say, if my brain is telling me this is not good, let me take a deep breath and think about it. If my instinct is telling me, slow down, let's relearn to listen to ourselves. And let's stop wanting to be fashionable. We cannot be fashionable all the time. And what is fashion anyway, and who dictates what the fashion is going to be? We don't have the same body, we can't dress the same. That's the first thing that I realized, that in my space that I want, everybody should be free to wear whatever they feel comfortable wearing.
Yes, please.
And the fashion world is not designed like that. It's designed to impose upon us something that we can't even fit in. The models don't look like us. First of all, in my space, the model should be based on people's differences of shape. Not one shape fits everybody. Not everybody have to look like a hanger. And in that, there's no freedom. The base of the space that I want us to live in is based on freedom of being, of speaking, of sharing together. We can disagree but never be enemy of one another. Not be at each other's throat because we disagree with somebody, that person have to disappear. We need to have our opinion. We need to believe in different things. That is human. God created us according to his image, it said on the gospel. So which means God's image is multiple. So that's why organized religion is having people, because you cannot tell people, you can't think like that. You can't do this. You can't do that. But who are you to tell me what I want to do with my body? What I have to do with my brain? God created me free, and you can't sit there and tell me because you are a preacher. You have to tell me what I got to do. Well, I can speak to God myself. I don't need y'all.
I often think that there is a God, perhaps in nature itself, because it can
Nature is God.
Teach us so much, yeah.
Nature is God, period. I'm going to tell you something. My daughter, at 2 years old, one day in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, something like that, she asked me, Mom, who made God? I'm like, huh? What? At 7 o'clock, my brain isn't sharp enough. I don't know. And then she goes, if you don't know, who's going to tell me? I said, you know what? You're going to ask your dad. The father was sleeping. She lifted up his eyelid and said, Dad, who made God? The brother said, I can't fall asleep. I don't know. Go ask your mother. Here is that little tiny, mini stuff come down, putting her both hands on her hips going, are you guys both making fun out of me? I'm like, we don't have the answer. So she grabbed my face in her little hands and said, Ma, you guys told me to ask questions. And when I ask questions, there's no answer. And I said, well, I don't know. I think that God make himself or herself. And then she goes, does that mean I make myself? I say, yes. Can we stop the question now? And one of the things that I learned growing up is because my nickname was when, why, how, what, when I was a little kid. And every time I come to the village of my father, and then everybody, you see, all the elderly people, they scatter around. They're like, oh, here she comes. No more question. and my dad, we say, well, come back. If you don't answer her, how will she learn? My child grew up to be like me, asking questions all the time since she was a kid. That's where we start when we have little kids. They keep us on our toes. They keep that innocence that we are born with. We need to tap into that and answer them with words they can understand to make them better thinker tomorrow.
Here we are as question-asking trees in your dream space. And how do we incorporate sound and the power of voice? Because that is such a tool for you in this real world.
You know, one of the things that is really interesting as a singer is that you realize that each one of us, we have different tone. Yet we understand each other when we talk. It's like a fingerprint. Every fingerprint is different and every voice is different. One thing that I grew up with, it's something that I cherish in my work and in everything I do, is joy. My mom always used to say that joy is a state of mind and that kindness is a bulletproof vest. Those two things are something that took me around the world. Not taking things too personal and try to understand what triggered the person to be mean toward me. It's important to ask that question because people just don't come out of nowhere to be mean. Nobody's born bad or good. It's the circumstances, our lives, that make us sometime on the edge, and then we snap at people and not thinking about the hurt that you are doing with your words. Words is more painful than somebody slapping in your face. The pain of the slap will go away, but the words, it tainted your soul. It stays in you, especially when somebody tries to belittle you. You have to ask yourself why. Because for somebody to want to belittle you, that person has been belittled already and still feel belittled and want to share or pass on that onto you. But that doesn't make his life even better. So when you understand that, you can talk to him on a different level and say, I'm sorry you're going through such and such and such. But if you want us to talk about it, I'm willing to. We need to engage also in conversation. And we live in a society where we don't pay attention anymore to anybody. And we are so isolated because of the new technology, the internet and all the things that we create around, calling it progress, is to imprison and to lobotomize human beings. If that is progress, I don't know what non-progress look like. Because if we are not able to think freely, if there is a war against human spirits, what is left for us to be? There's no me without you. In my space, we are all linked. If I am me, it's because you are you. So, in my dream space is emulating each other. We have so many ideas, so much ideas to make this world a better place. But yet we are not invited, all of us, in the space where we can share those ideas with the leaders of this world, for them to understand who we are. When the leaders of this world are making law and deciding for us, we are not there. They make laws for us, and we have to follow that law. I am a law-abiding person, but the law have to speak to everybody. The injustice that people feel have to be part of the law and how we address that injustice. How do we address homelessness? How do we address people that have no means and we think that they are lazy? No, everybody wants to work. How do we create a space where each one of us creates something that can profit the person and everybody at large? And we need to really rethink our society and make it more inclusive. Not today that we are dividing people, talking about frontiers. When you look at the earth from the space, there's no borders. We create the borders to keep what we have for ourselves and not to share it. In sharing, we get more. You don't share, you come to scarcity. You don't have any more.
Oh, I feel empowered just speaking to you. I believe I'm there. I'm the tree. I want to share. I do think it's interesting to explore this idea of joy being a mindset because sometimes it feels really far away. And I'm a joyful person, which makes me even more afraid when I can't find it, because I know it. I know what it feels like to be embodied in joy. And then when I'm having to look for it, maybe it's because I'm tired, or I don't know. There's many reasons in this current world, but how can we have these ingredients in your dream space with someone who believes in joy and sharing, create it for ourselves in those moments where we feel perhaps not quite so sturdy?
I think joy is contagious, because in my space, if we all live in the spirit of joy, we will always be there for one that is each one of us, that because there's gonna be a moment where we're gonna feel down. We are not all gonna feel down at the same time. It's impossible. There's always gonna be somebody with joy. Go to somebody that have joy, that would bring you back and retune you to find your joy, because you never can lose your joy. If you lose your joy, you lose your breath. You don't live anymore. And that's the thing that you have to understand about joy. Joy is a power that we have that allowed us to face the most difficult truth to face. And once you face it, the next thing that comes with that spirit of joy is, how can I fix this for myself? And my experience can help others fix their own way. Because how you fix it is not going to be the way I fix it. And that is something that we know we have, but we forget that we have it. For me, it's a constant reminder, that voice of my mother. My mother passed away in 2021. And one of the things that she asked me to do was to sing her a song that she loved the most. She said, I don't care the pain you are going to be in. I want you to remember that you were born to sing. I want you to give me that before they put me in the grave. It was the hardest thing ever that she asked me to do. I just sing one verse and I collapse. I couldn't do the rest. But I wanted her to have my voice in that song that will accompany her wherever she is going to. I'm still struggling with the fact that she will no longer be here. The laughter of my mom is something that it's in my spirit. I walk with it, I sleep with it, and I cannot forget that joy. And everybody's like, you're always positive. Why should I be negative? If I'm negative, I won't be happy. So why make my life miserable by wanting to please people that don't know how to please themselves? Me, I'm joyful, and I was born with my joy, and I hang on to it. I nurture it, I nourish it, I protect it, and I share it.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. We're all so lucky for that as a sentiment, and it's woken me up from the fact that we absolutely have the power to share it and to kind of wake it up, you know, when sometimes it feels like it's sleeping or if it's really hard.
But also joy is a power, and government don't like joy, because when you are joyful, you cannot be manipulated. Because you see the truth when it comes in, as the first thing that any dictatorship take away is your freedom to think and to be joyful and to listen to music. Art is at the center of the resilience and the resistance of human being, because art gives you the freedom. When you decide to listen to music, you don't have to ask permission to anybody. Or you listen in your home, or you put your headphone on, and it empowers you. That no government can do.
Yeah.
Who wanna spend his time listening to the speech of such and such a leader? We don't have time for that. But what gives us strength is the joy we take from listening to all different kind of music, or going to the museum and you see what have come before you and what is created today. It frees us completely from any manipulation. So joy is an act of resistance.
It's lovely.
And when you meet somebody in need, it's not about money. Sometimes it's not about, we make everything about money. A hug goes a long way. A time that you spend listening to somebody you don't know, that feel the urge to speak to you out of nowhere. Why you? You don't know. But in that is a blessing. Once you find that and you love yourself, you will always give the benefit of doubt to people. There are horrible people, there are good people, there are many different kinds of people around the world. You can't fix everybody. But one thing that you owe yourself is your self-well-being, mentally, physically, spiritually, to be always looking out from within. What can I give? You cannot save everybody's life. And I'm telling you this and I'm trying it. And I've learned through my work with UNICEF that people that you think you're helping, they help you understand more who you are. When you work with child soldiers, survivors, young girls that have been raped during conflict, they give you the strength to help them, not the other way around. So for me, this world of mine, the space that I'm talking about, is always how we bounce back and forth. Our time is limited. But within that time is what we do with the time. And when my mom said kindness is a bulletproof vest, I experienced it so many times. When you are confronted with racist people or nasty people saying bad stuff to you, and you smile, they just feel stupid. Nobody can kill a smile. I always say to myself, something you can't change immediately. Have a strategy to fix it step by step. One step at a time. You cannot take a big bite that you can't chew. Use those to keep yourself on your toes.
Angélique, you've worked with NGOs for many years, and if you could change anything in the UN or governments from a big scale, what would you dream to be the change if you had that power?
I think the main thing that I would put in place is the parliament of people, to be at the center of the decision-making that will impact us all. Every citizen on this planet, no matter which language we speak, we should have in every country around the globe 2 representatives that will have their parliament in the UN. And in every country or the constituency, the people to be part of the parliament, to sit there when they start talking about health, education, investment. Right now, we have more lobbying. Why the lobbyists have to be at the heart of everything and not us, who are at the receiving end of the lobbyist consequences, us. So if we have to be the guinea pig, at least we can be at the beginning of this discussion. We have to have the choice to act upon things that are going to hurt us.
In your humanitarian work, there seems to be a real value for Pan-Africanism. Do you think that place is important? Do you choose to focus your energy on the continent of Africa because that's where you are from? Or is there a more kind of philosophical outlook on life?
One thing that I know for sure, I didn't ask to be born in the family I was born to, nor the country that I was born into, nor the continent. That goes for everybody the same. But I've been taught when I was home that when you reach out to people beyond the door of your house, you are richer, you are stronger. The home I grew up in, my dad don't close the door until we all go to bed. My father and mother said, this house is open to every single human being. And for me, Pan-Africanism is universalism. Because when I leave my home and I'm going to a concert, I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know how the public going to react. I never take any public for granted until the show is over. And the thing is, it makes me humble. You need to stay humble. No one is bigger than no one. You can have all the money on this world. When death comes knocking at your door, you can negotiate. You go. So I learned that talking about those things, we shouldn't even be talking about it. It should be normal.
Mm-hmm.
It should be natural to everybody. And because we lose sight of it in this internet era where we say everything, we decide who's going to be canceled, but who is canceling who? On which base you cancel somebody? On which base you hurt somebody and thinking that you're going to be immune from the receiving end of it? What you put out there comes back to you.
Yes.
One day or the other. As we said, karma is a bitch.
Oh, I wish Angélique was my mum. What a vibrant, vital, invigorating, wise, warm, matriarchal energy she carried. I love talking to her. And I think she reminded me that some of this joy that we all have access to is within us. And actually, some cosmology, life, goodness, vibrations are actually simple to achieve. I think that we overcomplicate a lot. So I loved speaking to her, yeah. Trees have come up a few times in this Dream Space series, from the forests where Marina Abramovich would find her friends, to Max Porter's tree that gave us infinite empathy, and now Angélique giving us the best metaphors to live by. I'm just absolutely blown away. Thank you for listening. Join us again next time for an epic journey through another artist's dream space. If you enjoyed this episode, if you got anything, whether it was a laugh, a pearl of wisdom, a moment where you felt moved, then make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. Please share it with mates that you think might like it in your chosen community. Put it out online. Your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you can't wait until the next episode, then head to Factory International's website to find more creative content on Factory Plus. And if this is your first taste of Dream Space, we have a whole universe. Thank you for joining us. Dream Space was hosted by me, Gemma Cairney, and this episode was produced by Emily Dix, with sound designed by Solomon King and music by Andrew P.M. Hunt. The executive producer is Dan Jackson, and this is a reduced listening production for Factory International, curated by Scott Simoniti and Alex Mannion Jones.